Welcome to In Her Shoes. I'm Tiffany Dowling.
And I'm Shelley Davis-Milak.
We are going to be talking about food today, and one of my absolute favorite topics, of course.
Mine too.
Although I like to eat, I don't necessarily love to cook, but it is a good thing that other people do, because I do like good food.
I love good food. I mean, I really do. I'm not a big cook either.
You do more than I do, probably.
I do a lot more baking and roasting, which is a fancy word to say baking.
Well, I do a lot of microwaving.
Yes.
How's that?
Okay.
Microwaving, does that count as cooking? I mean, people get food out of it.
Right,
but I don't know if I would consider it. It's warming up.
Yeah, I go through stops and starts. You know, I have 3 kids. Husband, now the puppy, who wants to eat too, strangely enough.
I mean, you're not cooking meals for the puppy, are you?
You know, I do give him, her, whoever she is, Sparkles, some leftover like chicken or things like that.
Don't start that.
I know.
Don't start that nonsense. Viewers, tell her, don't start the nonsense.
Don't start the nonsense. She loves it. She likes cheese too. So I go through stops and starts. There's sometimes where I'm cooking and I'm grilling, or I'm doing all these things. During Christmas time, it's all the baking and the big meals.
I'll do it once a year. So they get Thanksgiving or Christmas.
You choose Thanksgiving or Christmas.
One or the other.
Unfair.
I don't do, in fact, you probably already know this story, but I'll tell all of you. When my husband and I got together, our first meal that I cooked for him, I microwaved chicken. I didn't want him to have any delusions about my cooking abilities, so I wanted to set the bar low.
Do you like to taste good food though? Because microwaving and chicken to me are like, eh.
I mean, that night it wasn't about, I mean, I was young. It's been a long time. And I didn't care about that kind of food. Now I wouldn't necessarily cook chicken in the microwave. I've learned a thing or two, just a couple of things since then. But
I was talking to someone this week about who loves to cook. So she is a local business owner. She cooks every Sunday for her whole family.
What does whole family mean? Like 10 kids?
Like 12 people come to her house every Sunday. And I said,
don't stop by my house expecting
I was going to stop by her house actually. But I said, now tell me what you do. Do you cook things that you love? I said, because what happens with me is I have like my repertoire. Like here's the 12 things that I can make decently for my family.
You have 12?
Like 12 things.
Nice.
And then you kind of rotate through those. But then when I go out to eat, I order totally different things.
Well, yeah, because you want the variety.
Right.
I don't know. I don't really have much that I would say I'm really good at cooking. I can cook lasagna. I've done that for years. I know you're not a pasta fan. She doesn't like cheese. In fact, it almost ruined our friendship, viewers. Anyone who doesn't like cheese, I'm suspect of. Cheese and bacon, everything tastes better.
It's not like I don't like bacon. You either like bacon or you're wrong. There's no 2 ways about it.
Exactly.
Cheese is a different thing. So so I cook things for my family, but pasta doesn't fall into my regular rotation.
Pasta's an easy thing to cook. I think that's part of the reason why we like it at our house.
Yeah.
Boil some water. I can boil water.
Nice.
Yeah. I even put a little salt in it so that it flavors the food. I mean, that's good.
That's thinking it through. So if you're having a dinner party and you're not catering, what's your go-to dish? I
mean, I would do something simple like a lasagna and a salad or something like that. So I would do something that would be very easy to put together, and you really can't, it's hard to ruin it.
Right.
I mean, there's not much you can do to ruin lasagna. I mean, I guess you could burn it.
You could, but then that's when I actually start liking cheese, when it's all burnt around the edges.
So that's, I will put yours in when I invite you over for
I'm only
an extra.
going to eat the top.
Whatever works for you. It's all about Shelley, as always.
It's all about me and my food desires. I'm so excited. Today we're going to be talking to someone who really knows how to cook.
I know.
Who knows a thing or two, their way around the kitchen.
And I appreciate that because I do like to eat. So, having people out there that really know how to cook and it's their passion is wonderful.
It's delicious. I remember the first time we went to the Purple Carrot Truck, I called Tiffany. I said, we have to go to the Purple Carrot Truck.
And I said, what?
Yeah, we're such good friends. She goes, okay, fine, what is that?
I'm sure you won't steer me wrong. We both like to eat. I mean, it's got to be good.
Yeah, so we located it, went, had a great meal, and have been big fans ever since.
I mean, my favorite thing, carrot cake. It's like my favorite. And so they make awesome carrot cake, little pops.
Delicious.
You have to try them.
So we're going to have Nina Santucci on with us today from the Purple Carrot Truck. And then you're actually going to see the two of us eat, which I know you're thinking, that sounds exciting. we're going to be trying some desserts or treats from Sugarberry, which I can't wait to do that. It's going to be a great time.
It's going to be a great show. So stick with us. You're watching In Her Shoes.
Shoes will return right after these messages.
Welcome back to In Her Shoes. We are going to be talking with Nina Santucci. She is the co-owner of the Purple Carrot Truck.
I love the Purple Carrot Truck. If you haven't found the Purple Carrot Truck, you have to find it. How do people find it? Because I have to stalk you down on the internet.
We really like stalkers. We welcome them. So the easiest way is to go to our website, which is eatpurplecarrot.com, and it's just right there. It'll tell you our location every day. Facebook and Twitter is another great way to locate us. Every day we'll update where we're at, anything special we're featuring that day.
So you're kind of like Where's Waldo?
Right.
A little bit,
There's a little bit of a search going on. That's what you have to do in order to find your truck.
She's like, Shelley, stop calling me. It's on the internet.
Right,
you can find it.
I know you have her blocked. It's okay. It's all right. Most people do. It's normal.
It's totally fine. I'm fine with that.
So do you stay in the same place?
There's definitely spots that we go to on a regular basis. So, for example, every Saturday we're at the Meridian Township Farmers Market. Every Sunday we're at the East Lansing Farmers Market.
Yeah.
So some things are regular, and then we'll always have events that come up that might kind of adjust our schedule a little bit. So that's why I always suggest making sure you check out the website just so you know that we're where we're supposed to be.
Well, let's back up a little bit. I want to hear a little more of your story. First of all, you were a cover girl for Capital Area Women's Lifestyle magazine, and so I know a little bit about your story, but maybe there's a few people who missed the issue, so we want to give that to you. So tell us a little bit about how you ended up coming back here. You obviously worked in the food industry before.
Yes. So I grew up in East Lansing, and then when I graduated high school, I went to Philadelphia to go to college. And while there, worked at a restaurant, and that's really kind of where I fell in love with kind of fine food. So I'd always been an eater growing up. But that's where I was kind of exposed to, yes, we weren't doing microwave chicken at the restaurants I was at, just a little bit past that. So, and I just really kind of fell in love with it and learning everything that there is, you know, cooking and where food comes from and things like that. And so when I graduated college, I was ready to do something else. And my boyfriend at the time, who's now my partner, had been working at this restaurant as a chef for maybe 6 years and had kind of gone as far as he could in the restaurant. And so we decided that we were going to move and embark on a new journey. So from Philadelphia, we went down to Austin, Texas.
Oh, wow.
And spent a couple of years there.
Did you tell people don't mess with Texas when you were there all the
sure
time?
Did.
Good.
Yep,
all right, great.
Right.
And I noticed you're wearing cowboy boots today,
Yes.
so maybe that came a
little inspiration from
Texas.
Texas, absolutely. Take a little bit from everywhere I go.
Nice.
And we worked there for a couple of years, and Tony, my partner, had a wonderful opportunity out of Washington, D.C., so it was one of the top restaurants in the country at the time, and you know, it was something that he couldn't pass up. So as much as we loved our time in Austin, we felt that this was a good opportunity. So we moved out to D.C. We were there for a couple more years until a friend opened up a restaurant in Philadelphia. Wow. So we went there to run that space, and then we were ready to do our own thing, which is the Purple Carrot. So
what is the Purple Carrot?
Well, so the Purple Carrot's a food truck, so essentially we're a mobile restaurant, and our concept is that everything comes from Michigan. So all of our produce, our proteins, our cheese, every single thing we cook from, we source locally. So it means that our menu changes all the time. There's a lot of planning and logistics involved, and then you have crazy years like this when there's insane heat and there's no rain, and so you're constantly kind of just...
No cherries, which you did a lot of cherries on your menu last year.
We had some cherries this year, but not as many as last year.
It was rough for a lot of the farmers this year.
So, so that's, and basically we take all of this wonderful produce and turn it into creative lunch fare.
So I have to ask, because I think that there's, you know, what made you decide that a truck would be the way to go, at least to start off your
Well, it seemed like it was a lot less expensive than opening up a brick and mortar, and we thought it would be a great way to introduce ourselves. It's something new that wasn't happening in this town, and just kind of a fun way to catch everyone's attention and see if the type of food that we liked would go over well in this town.
It's definitely become a trend.
Yeah.
I think, you know, it was definitely coming in, and now you're riding the wave.
Oh, definitely.
That's
You're
really
a trendsetter,
great.
Nina. That's what I always think when I think of you.
Of course, she's a cover girl.
I know, I know.
Trendsetter. That's awesome.
Well, and you have some big news we're going to be talking about in the next segment, because things went pretty well for you your first year with Purple Carrot, right?
They sure did.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Good. Well, we're excited to hear all about the big news. You're going to hear it right here on In Her Shoes.
Stay with us. Welcome back to In Her Shoes. We are continuing our conversation with Nina Santucci.
I'm so happy that you use local produce. Tiffany and I are big Michigan supporters as people who own businesses in the state. It's so important. Go Michigan, America's high five. It's so important to support our economy. And so how do you go about getting these fresh local ingredients?
Well, I mean, it helps that we set up a lot of farmers markets. We've really built a lot of relationships with these people, which is great, because since we're going there anyways, at the end of the day, you should see the amount of coolers that we load into the truck. So we sell all the food that's in there, and then we load it all up with fresh produce and fish and chickens and all sorts of good stuff. So
it sounds awful to me, but I'm so glad you do it.
I love the end result,
right?
When I come up to the truck and get my
it's
stuff.
funny because right now there's so much amazing produce. This is like my favorite time of the year, because tomatoes are coming in and corn, and you still have some of this great spring vegetables.
Leads me to the question, like, what is your favorite dish that you guys prepare?
Oh,
or does it change all the time?
It always
you guys
changes. I mean, it's like every week, it's like you have a new favorite. I really love almost anything that we do with fish, because we get it basically fresh out of the lake. We're serving it a day or two after it's been caught, so it's just so fresh. And things like trout, which I think a lot of people kind of shy away from when we prepare it. It's in such a way that, you know, it's so fresh and flavorful, and it's not. Sometimes you get these stigmas with things like lake trout, where it's really just almost the exact same thing as salmon.
Oh.
And
my favorite, hands down, is the borscht.
Oh, beet borscht is awesome.
Love it, love it, love it. Now, when is that in season?
Beets are kind of year-round. Yeah,
which is good for us.
Yep.
I love beets.
And they're so beautiful. I mean, they stain everything when you cook with them, so they're kind of a nightmare,
I'm
but
glad
they're
it's
just
at
beautiful.
your place and not mine.
Again, I like the end result when I walk up and get my cup of soup.
That's nice. So you have some news to share.
I sure do. We mentioned how we opened up the food truck kind of first to introduce ourselves, and we had such an awesome response our first year in business that we decided to open up brick and mortar so that people can come all day long. And so hopefully by the end of the summer, our restaurant will be completely built. It'll be called Red Haven, which, if you don't know, is a Michigan peach. So the idea is that every business that we open will be a different fruit or vegetable that we feel is representative
purple carrot,
of
red
I love
we're
purple
serving.
carrots, by the way. They're
Oh,
delicious.
good. And they're so
I
beautiful.
I love purple carrots. So where's the restaurant going to be?
The restaurant's going to be in Okemos. It's right at the corner of Hagedorn and Mount Hope. So it's a newer development. It's called the Hamptons. And our food will all be local, just like the truck is, but we're also going to have a liquor license, so we'll feature a lot of Michigan
Now
beer.
we're talking, Michigan.
She was definitely thinking about us.
Yeah, and then there's some wonderful spirits that are made here, so it'll be, you know, all of our drinks will be with fresh herbs and juices and just really kind of fresh, fun, inventive food. And the food we'll be serving will all be small plates, so tapas style, like Spanish tapas, not topless, which everyone always thinks I'm saying. I'm like, nope, we're not opening a tapas.
It's not that kind of restaurant,
That happened
people.
to me the first time I went to Sanchez in Grand Rapids. My friend said, we're going to go to a tapas restaurant. And I said,
are you sure?
I'm not really into that.
Yeah, so the purple carrot's kind of more the family friendly, and then we've got the topless bar for the evening.
Wow. So will you continue
the truck? Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So the restaurant will be a little bit more, you know, upscale food. So the truck is kind of going to be the more informal fare, which just kind of we can kind of cater to everyone, and it still allows us to get to different parts of town, which has been so great that we get to kind of go to different people and not be stuck to one specific location.
I love that.
I love it too.
That's very exciting. Now, are you nervous? I mean, building a location and getting all those pieces in place. I mean, that's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
I mean, we're business owners. We know that having a business is a lot of work anyway, but that's even bigger. I mean,
a
you've got
service
to get the
business compared
kitchen.
to,
Yeah, the
like,
building has not been my favorite part. I mean, it's I know so much about food and running a restaurant, but I know absolutely nothing about building one. So it's a lot of learning, and you have to rely on a lot of people and trust that they kind of can see your vision and put it into what you want. But it's been challenging.
Someone during this process is a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy for you.
Yeah,
That's
we're really
wonderful.
excited.
I can't wait.
That's great.
I can't wait to go to the new restaurant.
It's going to be very close to my house, so
Excellent.
I will be a frequenter.
Close to mine too. We'll be able to meet in the middle.
Oh, nice.
Have some
Yeah,
delicious
there you
food.
go.
Can you throw out your website one more time for people?
Yep, it's eatpurplecarrot.com.
Delicious. And you should eat purple carrot.
should.
It is good stuff.
Thanks so much for being a part of the show.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll be back with In Her Shoes in just a minute.
You get to watch us eat. Sounds delicious. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to In Her Shoes. We had been talking to Nina Santucci from the Purple Carrot Truck. I want to take a little bit of credit for you.
For me, thank
you.
you.
For introducing me to the Purple Carrot Truck.
You know, we both know Nina's sister through Junior League of Lansing, and when Nina was coming into the market, she reached out to us and said, look, my sister's coming. She has this great concept. It's something that's booming in other areas of the nation.
I love trends.
We love trends. And so literally, I used to stalk the Purple Carrot Truck to find out where it was at.
She
try
stalks
to
a lot of people.
bring all my friends. But the food is fabulous. It wasn't just because I like the friends, it's the food is fabulous.
Right. So we sent our roving reporter, Ami Iceman, out to check out the carrot truck. So out to you, Amy.
Hi ladies, it's me, Ami Iceman, here on location to meet with Nina Santucci, the owner of the Purple Carrot, to get a sneak peek at one of the hottest lunch locations on wheels. So we're here with Nina Santucci. Tell me about what a day-to-day life is when you're working inside a truck.
Well, our day actually starts outside of the truck in a kitchen that we work at out on Crowbridge Road. So we get all the food prepared, cooked, ready to go, load the truck up with as much as we can fit, and then drive out to our location. And then once we open, usually we have a pretty steady stream of folks coming in. We try to get the food out fast and quickly, and pack up for the day, go back to the kitchen, and start cooking for tomorrow.
Well, it looks like you have a pretty loyal following, seeing as there's already people lined up for today. So what is so important to you about making sure that your food is fresh and from local vendors?
You know, it all really started with just wanting to have the best food to cook with. And when you're cooking with local food, it was picked that day, the day before, and the difference is huge. So right now we're starting to get into tomato season, and the tomatoes that we're getting right now are incredible. I mean, it tastes like what a tomato should, as opposed to if I was buying them in December where it's kind of just watery and it looks like a tomato. And the more we started buying from the local farmers, it just became such kind of a passion for us, and it's so important. We now know everyone who grows the food that we're serving, and we can really serve it with pride and say, we know where this came from, we know how they prepared it, and it was all within, 50 miles of where we live, which is huge because the amount of money that people coming and supporting us stays in the community, and we continue to support the local businesses and farmers, and I think it's just been such a great, fun endeavor for us.
So tell me a little bit about what I'm going to be trying today.
All right, so we're getting into the heart of summer, which means there's tons of produce to choose from. So we've got a totally vegetarian meal here. It's a pick two combo, what we do on the truck. So you can get half a sandwich or a soup or a salad, 2 different half sandwiches, and just a fun way to try more of our menu. So the sandwich here is a summer squash and corn cake.
Don't mind me.
No, please go ahead. It
Help
has,
myself.
it's actually a vegan sandwich. So the mayonnaise on it is made from tofu and Mexican marigold, which is super flavorful, almost like tarragon herb that's all mixed in there. And then next to that, you have our chilled radish bisque, and it has a cherry salsa in it. So the cherries come actually from my family's farm up in Traverse City.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
we pitted them all, made a nice fresh salsa with it. And then the radish bisque is going to be super creamy, but there's actually no cream in it. It's just the creaminess from the radish.
That's awesome.
And
that's so good.
I know. And then all of our sandwiches come with a side baby green salad. So all of the greens are grown locally right here in Bath. They're just super tender and fresh and just better than any greens you can find out of the store.
I mean, I feel healthier already. I only had one bite. So tell me about this little gem.
Yeah, so before you feel too healthy, you've got to always save room for dessert. We always have cake pops on the food truck. And this one is our summer berry cake pop. I call it the summer berry block party. So it's loaded with raspberries, cherries, blueberries, strawberries, and that's it.
And it's beautiful too. I mean, this is definitely something I think Tiffany and Shelley would love. It's all bedazzled and beautiful. So, I mean, is there anything you want people in the community to know about Purple Carrot that we might not know already?
I mean, pretty much we change our menu every single week, always dealing with what's local and fresh. So, you know, I just always recommend to people, try something you might not normally order because it's all good, it's all fresh, it's all delicious. And you can feel good about what you're eating because it's made from scratch and you're supporting your local community. So great way to fill your bellies.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time for meeting with me and letting me eat some of your delicious food, which I am going to finish, by the way. And I look forward to coming back again.
Thank you so much. Enjoy.
And back to you, Tiffany and Shelley.
Stay tuned. You're watching In Her Shoes. Welcome back to In Her Shoes.
We're talking food today, which is one of our favorite things.
I mean, how can you go wrong?
You can't go wrong, especially when you're talking about frozen treats.
No, I know, especially in the summertime.
I know.
I like to have something cold and sweet.
And delicious. And there's so much buzz around sugarberry.
Right, right. I mean, it's huge right now. I think that everyone in my office actually goes by there at least once a day.
On a regular
so
basis.
I want again to take credit for the success of sugarberry.
For yet another business that we are patronizing. No, patronizing.
Yeah,
No.
or patronizing. Whatever,
Patronizing, whatever. I'm not patronizing them. That sounds horrible. So Sugarberry is located near the Frandor Shopping Center. It's the cute. I remember when it went in and it had the cutest little sign and.
So nice.
Yeah, it's so fun.
So we're joined by Ann Wynn, who is the owner, and Leti Sanchez, who is the manager.
Ladies, thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, how long has Sugarberry been in the Frandor location? Because I understand you have a couple of locations.
November of 2010.
Okay,
Yes.
so not too long, but long enough
It's
to
been around for a
know your way
little
around
bit.
the neighborhood.
Right. So tell us how you ended up in the frozen yogurt business.
Well, I went on vacation a couple years ago.
That's where all the good ideas start, right? Take a vacation, people.
Right.
And I was in California, and I had some frozen yogurt in California, and I fell in love. And I said, this is what I want to do. But it took me years down the line to research. And then finally, I said, I'm going to do it. I want to do it. So, yep, just came from a vacation.
That's lovely. See, sometimes I go on vacation and I'll go to a shop and I'll say, I love this. I'm just going to keep coming back every day and eating. I don't really take it to the next level of opening a business, but I appreciate that in you.
So what kind of research did you have to do? Because obviously if you hadn't ever done a business before, is that the case?
Well, internet, mostly,
Okay.
majority, just internet, talking to people, a lot of talking. Just anyone I came across who even knew about it, thought about it, I talked, researched, asked questions, and from then on, I just got a really good idea of what I wanted to do.
No, oh, I'm sorry.
Is Sugarberry a franchise?
That's what I was going to ask. Great minds think alike.
No, but hopefully one day, if it is set up, I'm setting it up for a franchise.
Right.
But it has not been yet, but hopefully one day.
All right.
Now, Leti, you manage the stores.
Yes.
Do you manage both or just one?
Just the one
Just
in
the one.
Frandor.
And that's probably enough work for you to
Yes.
do.
Yes.
I would say
It
so.
is.
What do you think what's your bestseller? What's the favorite thing when people come in?
Taro flavor.
Oh,
Now,
what is that?
Yes, help us.
That is a Japanese root vegetable like a sweet potato.
Oh, I love sweet potatoes.
And it tastes like, people kind of think, wow, okay. It tastes like a vanilla wafer, is what I think it tastes like.
Really?
It's very good.
Wafers.
Well, and your shop is known for having unique flavors.
Yes.
And I don't think I could go to any other store and get it. Do you pronounce it taro?
Taro.
I don't think I can get that anywhere else. What other flavors do you have?
Lychee.
Lychee. We have lychee.
It's excic too.
Oh, really? Exotic.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just like to say exotic. It sounds so exotic when they say that. So you have lychee, and then do you have standards? I have kids, you know, they're very...
We do.
Vanilla chocolate.
Yes, vanilla
strawberry,
chocolate,
good twist.
raspberry, strawberry. All the others we kind of interchange, don't we? And Anne decides when we're going to
Okay.
change flavors.
So how do you come up with the flavors?
Research.
Okay.
And sometimes I get opinions from people from Facebook. Hey, you know, get this in or get that. Yes, yes.
Right.
A lot of stuff. A lot of my advertising and ideas do come from Facebook. People do message me, say, "Hey, I'm thinking about
do
this and that," and I do. I try to make everyone happy. I don't always make everyone happy, but I try to make everyone happy and bring in the flavors that they want.
Well, from what I hear from all the people I know that have tried it, you're making a lot of people happy.
Yeah, a lot. So how many flavors would you have on a normal day?
12 flavors,
12,
and
okay.
I change
That's
it.
great.
But there are the favorites that I don't take out because I will make a lot of people mad.
Angry.
Yes.
So would that be the
Protests.
taro? Right.
The taro, vanilla chocolate, the original tart, strawberry cheesecake, those stuff really always stay because people love those. Yep.
So if we ever see people out picketing in front of the store, we'll know that she
know.
took one of the favorites away.
Sweet potatoes.
Speaking of favorites, we're going to get to try some.
We are.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to have a little frozen yogurt.
Yum, yum.
Welcome back to In Her Shoes.
I'm so excited we're eating this segment.
Well, we're so happy that you're excited. We want to welcome back our guests. This is Ann Wynn. She is the owner of Sugarberry. And we have Leti Sanchez, who is the manager. And thank you so much for bringing these frozen treats in.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited. Look, I have my spoon right here.
Right.
I'm waiting. I'm
She
locked
already
and loaded.
She already has a spoon. So I want to try the ones that maybe we wouldn't have had before. So you mentioned that original tart is your favorite. So let's check it out.
Let's try it. You,
All right.
you go ahead.
All right. I would say that we would share this, but you already know what
Right.
it tastes like.
Okay, who took the bigger bite? Mmm.
That's really good. It's really good.
What is in there? Is it top secret?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry.
It is.
Only,
It's
only Leti and
delicious.
I would know.
We're
It's
the only
the
ones.
perfect
Really?
combination of tart and sweet
That's
and
so
creamy and people can put toppings on those, right?
Yeah.
Right. How does the topping station work?
It's just like a buffet bar.
Oh, a
And you-
buffet.
yes.
Who doesn't like a buffet?
And you can put whatever you want on there, however you like on there.
So what are some of the favorite toppings that you know of?
Everybody has different favorites. Some people will come up and say, well, what should I put on taro? I put the same things on everything.
Okay.
So it just depends on what you like.
See, I would put
Yeah.
fruit on the original tart. I would add a little
Yes.
strawberries or maybe some
a lot
blueberries.
of people like Reese's Pieces peanut butter cup, but not on tart, like the
Right.
cheesecake or the vanilla. Yeah,
Sure.
that is one
I
of
mean,
the
who doesn't?
favorites.
Who doesn't
Right.
like Reese's?
Yeah, that is delicious. And now the taro, you said that's your second favorite.
Like a bestseller.
Yeah,
It's-
that's
it's
actually the best.
All right,
Oh,
yeah.
this is the bestseller.
Let's try
Okay.
it.
Let's see, Tiffany and I don't always go with the crowds. We'll be the judge of
Yes.
how delicious this is. I like the color of it.
It is actually purple.
Oh.
The root is actually purple.
Anyway, Tiffany can take it from here. I'm just going to...
Hey,
is delicious.
it's so yummy.
That
I
doesn't
love
need
it.
any toppings whatsoever.
No.
None of them really need toppings, but
Yeah,
we have over
If you
70
want to
toppings.
Right.
splurge.
I can't even explain
Yeah.
exactly what that tastes
It
like.
tastes
It's just like a
amazing.
big bite of deliciousness in a cup. It's so good.
I just have to make sure you don't steal it all.
You know, here, Tiffany, I'll pass some of the other ones your way.
Right. No, this is wonderful. I love it. I
Yes.
cannot
Thank you.
wait to go in and get it every day now.
Me too.
And you
I like
should
it.
too. So we are going to come back and talk a little bit more about Sugarberry and maybe have a little frozen yogurt. So we want you to stay tuned.
You can guess what I'm going to be doing in between the break. I'll be back too. I'll talk a little bit more the next time. Well, bye.
welcome back to In Her Shoes. We are having a very good time.
I'd like to say delicious, as a matter of fact.
Right. I mean, why wouldn't we be? We are talking with the owner of Sugarberry, Ann Wynn, and the manager, Leti Sanchez. And, of course, we've been trying the buffet of amazing frozen treats. And I have to say that I am very impressed, especially with the ones that we wouldn't have known.
Right.
I
wouldn't have thought of the taro one unless it was recommended to me. But I don't want you to look and see how empty this is right now.
We had to stop her during the break. It's all right. It's all right.
A few more bites. So we have a lot more things to try here today. We have mango, cheesecake, strawberry, and raspberry.
Which is good to know. So you have some exotic flavors, but you also can try any of the regular flavors that you would find in almost any place. So that's great because people with small kids, they want to be able to come in and get your vanilla and you have chocolate, right? Okay, so chocolate and all of those good things. I know you like chocolate.
I love chocolate. I love everything. I love everything. Life is short. Eat frozen yogurt.
Right. Every day. Every day. At least that's your motto, right?
Yes.
Of course.
So do you want to try the mango next?
Sure.
I love mango.
All right.
Enough talking. Let's get to some more eating here, right?
Right.
Okay, mango.
I'm glad you're keeping us on track.
That is delicious.
I love mango.
I like it. It starts
really
out
good.
really sweet and then it kind of mellows down really fast.
It's
Delicious.
wonderful.
Do you have mangoes to put on your mango?
We do. We do.
Wow.
They just think of everything over there, don't they? It's amazing. Okay, cheesecake. We have to try these. Look at Tiffany. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it.
My
Come
goodness.
on. Tiffany,
All right.
you love cheesecake.
I do love cheesecake.
It's one of your favorite things. How does this stack up to the cheesecakes you like to eat?
All right. This one's mine. Oh, this is amazing.
Little strawberry sauce on there.
Oh,
Call
yeah,
it a day.
Yeah, this
I
is
pair
great.
that with the strawberry, so you can make this twist with the strawberry
Oh,
cheesecake.
nice.
Oh, it is so amazing.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's great. Well, let's talk a little bit. I mean, I know that there's more here, but I'm gonna let Shelley indulge
I've got this covered.
while we go forward. So tell me what some of your future plans are. So you have the second store here in the Frandor area. Yes. Are you planning on opening another store anytime soon? Like, what are some of your future plans?
Well, maybe right now 2 stores is a lot for me. I also have another business, so that's 3 stores I'm running. It's not a yogurt store, but it is another business.
Okay.
So right now I have 3 businesses I'm running, and it is a lot, but hopefully maybe in Okemos. I'm hoping in Okemos that I'll have another frozen yogurt there.
Okemos, she's trying. She's trying to come to you.
I'm coming.
Oh my gosh, you have to try this raspberry.
Okay.
Oh, that raspberry is to die for.
Thank you. Yep.
Do you make all of your frozen yogurt
Yep, fresh every day. Leti makes it fresh every day for me.
That is like. Do you make this year round? Because these raspberries taste like you picked them right off
Right, they really do.
the vine, the bush, the ground. I don't know where raspberries grow, but this is delicious right here.
Well, we'll try to educate her on a raspberry during the break. But for now, I want to talk about how hard is it to make the yogurt every day? Is there a process? Do you have to get there at 4 a.m. like when people have to make donuts? Like what happens?
We get there about an hour and a half before we open.
Perfect.
So,
But she's mixing all
I'm
day.
mixing all day long.
You're mixing
Okay.
all day.
And when we first opened, we weren't making that much yogurt, but now we're going through a lot of yogurt a day, so we have to make quite a bit.
How do you
until the next
contain
day.
yourself? Because this is sitting here, and I want to talk to you ladies. You're so kind. But all I'm thinking
Divert your
about
eyes.
is I need to continue eating
I
this.
found that if I eat it myself every day, I will get sick of it, honestly. So I will eat it every other day or
You
so.
portion.
I
Oh,
do.
okay.
I do.
Every other
I'm going to try that after I finish these samples.
Yes. But we do have
You
customers
portion
that
it
come
out.
in every day and they look at me like, I'm here again. I'm probably the only one. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
I actually know several people at my very office that tend to show up there on a daily basis.
Yes.
So you definitely have some fans out there, and I'm sure that some of our viewers would would say the same thing.
Thanks so much, ladies, for coming on with us
Thank you
today.
for having us.
Thank you.
Can you tell us your locations again? The one in Frandor, across from Frandor, right on Saginaw.
Yes, and the second one is right next to Chuck E. Cheese is that the west side?
Yes.
On the west side. Yeah, right next to Chuck
I
E.
know
Cheese.
exactly where
All
Chuck E. Cheese is. Two small kids. Thanks so much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for the food. I'm just going to keep
It's
eating
amazing.
this. Yes.
It's amazing.
Great. We'll be back shortly. Stick with us. Stay tuned. You're watching In Her Shoes. Financial Facts is sponsored by MSU Federal Credit Union.
Hi, we're here today with April Clobes. I'm Ami Iceman, and we're talking about financial facts for In Her Shoes. Today, we're going to be talking about financial facts for people buying used cars. So April, what type of financial background do people need to know before looking into buying a used car?
Well, there are several items and steps that you really should go through when you're buying a new car. I actually think the first one is to do your homework on the car you're buying. The best way to do that is if you know the vehicle identification number from the seller, you can run a couple of reports to see if the car you're looking at buying has experienced any damage in the past, such as maybe it was in a car accident and was totaled, but somebody bought it and rehabbed it, or it was in a flood or other natural disaster and it was written off by the insurance company. So those items are all tracked in a database. So you can run a Carfax report. Your lender could do that for you, or you yourself could do that online. So that's one step, because especially after like some of the natural disasters like Hurricane Katrina, the cars that were damaged in the flooding there were actually, some people tried to resell in other states. So that's something that you'd want to look for. The other thing that you should do is get your financing beforehand, so know how much money you're approved for. That's always helpful, because then if you go to buy something and you actually don't get the loan, that doesn't work out very well for you. In terms of other things to look for when buying a used car, we recommend that you take it to a mechanic beforehand to have it checked out to make sure that there's nothing major wrong with the car, because once you do buy it, you will own it. It's not like a pair of shoes, you can't return them. And then the other item is that we tell people is to run it through a car wash. Like, people don't think to do that, but if you run it through a car wash, you'll see if the car has any leaks or any other damage that would show up if during a raining time, when maybe it isn't raining when you're getting your car. So those are some things to make sure you make a smart purchase. And then the best option, of course, is always to know how much you're going to pay for your loan. So ask your lender what the rate is, how the payments work, if there's an application fee, if there's a penalty for paying your loan off early. Those are things that people don't think about. You know, based upon where you go, there could be an application fee from $0 to $150 just to apply for a loan. And the fee is there whether you're approved or not. So that's a good question to ask on the front end. And then also, you know, sometimes you pay off things early because you've maybe got a tax return or unexpected inflow of some cash. And some lenders also charge you to pay your loan off early. So you would incur extra expenses by doing that. So those are some things that I think you should look for when getting a new car.
And what type of financial help can credit unions offer people looking to get new cars?
Absolutely. Well, in particular, our credit union and most other financial institutions, some of the things that we can help you with is we can definitely, when you have a loan approved with us, we would run that Carfax check for you, so that would be free with your loan. In addition to that, we would also look at telling you what the current Blue Book and all the values of the car are, so you know if you're paying the right price for the car. And we have a lot of those tools on our website as well to help you with some of that homework and research yourself, and you can compare cars side by side. So a lot of financial institutions should have tools like that for you. We also have calculators to tell you if you borrow $10,000 what the payment will be, or you know, change it up based upon, oh, I can't afford that, so what is $7,000? You know, so you can do that on our website as well. But most of the lenders that people would work with should be able to offer those services.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for helping us out and trying to figure out some wiser tips to buying a car. Thanks so much for tuning in for Financial Facts. Come again next week and see what else April has up her sleeve for us.
Welcome back to In Her Shoes. It has been a tasty, tasty show today.
I must say, this has been the most delicious show by far.
I say that we have food at every show. I mean, let's talk to the producers.
I think, can we just get something in here? I think that's a great idea. You know, although it could add a little weight gain over the course of
I don't want that
time, but
yes.
That was delicious. I mean,
well, a little frozen yogurt for lunch. I mean,
It's good. It has fruit in it. And milk. What was that old Bill Cosby skit? It has flour, it has eggs.
It's healthy.
All of those things are good for you.
Well, I do. I want to thank our guests today. We had Nina Santucci from the Purple Carrot Truck. I have to say, find the truck, get the carrot cake pop. You will not be disappointed.
And if they have the beet borscht,
ooh, yum.
By all means, get that too. I mean,
Beets all year round.
Yeah, all their food is delicious.
Nice.
It's wonderful. You really want to find the truck and go check it out.
And then, of course, we had our Sugarberry folks, and you know, I want to thank Anne and Leti for bringing in all this amazing frozen yogurt, which, by the way, we are not sharing with anyone. As you can see, we've pulled it in close, and no one else is having any.
And you may notice we started with 6 samples, and now we're down to finishing off the last 4.
It's a good thing we will be skipping lunch today. We're having a frozen yogurt lunch.
Oh my God!
But yeah, it's great. And of course, if you haven't tried the frozen yogurt, I highly recommend it. These flavors are amazing. And don't be afraid to try the exotic flavors.
Don't. I mean, it's so fresh. It's hard to describe, although if you want to see me continue to eat it, I'll do my best that I can.
She will.
It's so fresh. It's like being hit in the face with a fresh fruit or something.
If I had been thinking clearly, we would have done a whole pie thing that I could have shoved right in.
Save that for later. We'll do that another time.
We will.
And of course, we always want to say thank you to MSUFCU for sponsoring our financial facts, our credit union, the credit union in mid-Michigan and beyond.
Yes.
You can find them, of course, at msufcu.org to find out more.
We love it. And so
next week, we're talking art and entertainment. Can we get food into that?
Right.
The art of eating.
Hey, wait. Do you eat paint? Because I mean, when you were little, you might have had eaten chalk and paint.
Yeah,
so
I haven't eaten paste in at least 5 years. It's been
well, I mean, you might need to tune in next week just to see if Shelley goes back to her paste eating ways.
You never know what's going to happen. Thanks, Mid-Michigan, for spending an hour with us. We can't wait to talk to you next week.
We've had fun. Come back.
T-straps, kitten heels to make you squeal, then a touch of personality.